Men's competitive urges are strange. The animals in the forest were pitiful, falling the moment they showed themselves. Kiao. Wanyan eyed the prey carried back by guards, feeling a surge of eagerness. All animals that appeared were shot down, even rabbits, though she could shoot. This was her first time in the forest, so her reflexes weren't as fast as those of trained men. Hiziyu saw med to notice when Zhang Qiyan knocked an arrow to shoot at deers behind distant bushes. Hiziyu stopped him. Wanyan gave it a try. Kiao Wanyan sheer leaped. She took a feathered arrow from Ziyuan, knocked it, drew the bow, and aimed at the deer Hiziyu looked at, chasing the moon in her hands. His expression unreadable, though his grip on the bow turned his knuckles white. Everyone fell silent, watching Kiao Wanyan and the deer. Even Zhang Qiyan didn't disrupt her, quietly waiting for the first shot of her. The day, a whoosh cut through the air, and the deer dropped. Wanyan, you're amazing, he Beos who cheered first. Kiao Wanyan smiled brightly. Your Highness, did you see? I hit it. He Beos who observed the subtle expressions around her, as expected, but still amusing. Asterisk so lively. Asterisk at first, she'd been cautious, mimicking the original host's behavior, but now she noticed the little interactions and emotions between these people and her sister. Asterisk true lie. Gossiping is the best thing. Asterisk. Hiziyu eyes warmed. Well done. His. The smile was as gentle as a stream. His tone patient, regal yet approachable. Only because you taught me well. Your Highness. He Yanli expression less lie withdrew his gaze, shooting an arrow that pierced the deer. Head when Yuzu carried it back. The arrow through the skull was clear. A tiger's shadow flashed in the distance, exciting Zhang Qiyan. Large prey was rare here, mainly because the emperor was present, and overly fierce animals were prohibited. But the thrill of hunting laid in the unknown and the chase of fierce beasts. Thus, Kiao Wanyan saw the group's eagerness for the unexpected prey. Jing Yu on. Take guards and stay by Wanyan's side. Hiziyu held the reins and ordered. Jing Yuan hesitated. I can protect. Second miss alone. What about you? Your Highness, if all guards go with me, as the crown prince, Hiziyu's safety was paramount. Wild beasts were one thing, but what if someone attacked during the chaos? As commander of the Eastern Palace Guards, he couldn't help worrying. No matter, do as I say. Shenqing showed no sign of galloping. Off to Crown Prince of Deu. Feel free to go. I'll stay and protect second miss. I have enough guards to shield the frailing women. Kiao Wanyan immediately refused. Asterisk I doubtlet. Him skinning me when no one's looking. Asterisk have Zhang Qiyan stay with me. She suddenly proposed. Zhang Qiyan was taken aback, pointing to himself. Me? You want me to stay with you? Kiao Wanyan nodded. Asterisk of course, between Zhang Qiyan and this dangerous Xiling crown prince. I chose the former. Asterisk she didn't want to stay by the crown prince's side. What? If he stayed with her later? Vaguely recalling the storybook, Hiziyu had kept Kiao Yihuan by his side in the forest when Kiao Yihuan insisted on hunting the tiger. Hiziyu hadn't made her wait. Safe lie, but brought her along. Next Hiziyu would be assassinated. The assassins, knowing he valued Kiao Yihuan, charged at her. Hiziyu was grazed by a poisoned arrow while saving her evening. After taking an antidote, the venom spread. Jing Yuan captured an assassin who revealed that blood could temporarily suppress the poison. Kiao Yihuan didn't hesitate to give Hiziyu her blood. Later, no doctor in Shanglin hunting grounds recognized the poison when Hiziyu was near death. Kiao Yihuan fetched Yun Hang from Medicine Master Valley. Curing him, this made the Empress approve He Ziyu marrying Qiao Yi Huan. News of Qiao Yi Huan's familiarity with Yun Heng spread, making her popular in the capital. But now Qiao Yi Huan wasn't in the forest, and Qiao Wanyan had prepared blood packs in advance. Basterisk, I want to cut myself to bleed. If he needs my blood, Heezy, you might as well die. Asterisk, ignoring Shen Qing's gaze. She knew the assassination, though suspicious, had nothing to do with Xilinx. It was the doing of remnant forces from the previous dynasty. Their leader was ruthless, sending assassins who took poison, dying before interrogation, without the story book mentioning remnants of previous dynasties. Even she would know who was behind it. Heezy hesitated. Qiao Wanyan quickly said, if your highness can hunt that tiger. Here, tiger's skin blankets are warm. Will you hunt it for me? Asterisk, hurry up and leave before assassins come here. Asterisk. The crown prince was the story's male lead, destined to survive like Qiao Yi Huan. But she wasn't. She couldn't get dragged in. Heezy had no reason to refuse. He Yanli, who'd planned to stay, gave up. Asterisk, it's safe here with Zhang Qian. Asterisk, as long as she didn't run off. Shenqing didn't go. Hunting bored him. The only draw was the person who interested him. Zhang Qian frowned, blocking Qiao Wanyan's face with his cloak. Why do you keep looking at her? Don't say it's because she's beautiful. Her beauty doesn't justify staring at her. Shenqing smiled calmly. Why get so worked up? I'm looking at her, not your wife. Zhang Qian froze. Speechless, he turned to glance at Qiao Wanyan, who pushed his arm down, revealing her flawless face. Your highnesses, constant staring troubles me, Qian, and Ieri friends. So he's just speaking up for me, not getting worked up. Did you misinterpret? Your highness. Shenqing paused, studied her, then smiled. My mistake. Please forgive me. Second Miss Zhang Qian snorted, torn between pleasure and displeasure at her words. An indescribable emotion fuzzed at his mind, making him restless. Asterisk, friends. Asterisk. Shenqing looked away, but Zhang Qian stole glances at her. Qiao Wanyan didn't notice, focusing on the distance. Though the forest blocked the crown prince, any commotion would be heard. Asterisk, where are the assassins? Hurry up, my chicken blood might go bad. Asterisk, asterisk, if Heezy drinks spoiled blood, will it worsen the poison? Asterisk, probably not. He was the male lead, fated to survive. Asterisk, just go through the motions. Asterisk. Hey, want some water? This pouch is new. Unused. Zhang Qian casually held out a water pouch. Qiao Wanyan glanced at it, then took Ziyuan's pouch instead. Keep it. Ihavi. Honey water with 100 flower honey. Zhang Qian felt awkward, clearly seeing her slight distaste. Asterisk, what am I doing? This is humiliating. Asterisk, Shenqing didn't look, but his lips curved in a mocking smile. Asterisk, friends. Asterisk, a sudden rustle in the distance. Start leading birds into flight, shattering the forests. Silence, your highness. Protect the crown prince. Qiao Wanyan frowned. As the storybook said, remnants of the previous dynasty were attacking assassins. Zhang Qian tensed, scanning the surroundings. Hearing no nearby noise, he guessed the assassins. Tarched head the crown prince. Ziyuan clung to Qiao Wanyan, nervous. Miss. Zhang Qian turned. Don't be afraid. With me here, you're safe. Just stay by my side. And don't run. He dismounted, stepping to her side. Get down. If assassins charge here, a startled horse could hurt you. Qiao Wanyan agreed. Asterisk, safety first. Asterisk, she took Ziyuan's hand and dismounted. Zhang Qian's outstretched hand stiffened, Then he subtly withdrew it, turning away in embarrassment. Qiao Wanyan waited calmly for the crown prince to be poisoned with Shen Qing and his men, Zhang Qi and Lu Jinye, and he bows whose guard she felt safe. Distant clashing swords echoed. Qiao Wan. Yan's mind suddenly buzzed. Asterisk in the story. He Ziyu was shot while saving Qiao Yihuan, but she's not here. How will he get hurt? Will the assassins be captured quickly? Then my chicken blood is useless. Asterisk asterisk damn. Why did I come here? I should have stayed in the lodge. Drinking tea. Asterisk her mood plummeted. Zhang Qian noticed her sudden gloom. Asterisk assuming she was upset. Asterisk no one offended her. Why the anger? Asterisk he kept quiet fearing a slap in public. Shen Qing said. Second miss seems unhappy. Are you unwell? Qiao Wanyan snapped, what's it to you? Zhang Qian, asterisk serves you right, asterisk. He bows who bit her lip, hiding as miles at Shen Qing's surprised expression. Asterisk Envy Wanyan for never compromising. Her feelings, that's living, asterisk. Qiao Wanyan hesitated only a moment between replacing Qiao Yihuan to advance the plot or staying safe, asterisk risking my life is out of the way. Question, making Heezy like me does require danger, asterisk. Asterisk asterisk, hidden in the forest asterisk asterisk. The crown prince's men are too skilled. How can we strike? A masked man cold and gloomy eyed the distance, silent before speaking. If we can. T targets the crown prince. Target those around him, killing him here satisfies our master. Failed. And we die. You mean? The crown prince treats the Qiao sisters unusually as his saviors. If something happens to them, he won't ignore it. Troop at the second mess has the young Marquis and Xiling guards. Few assassins can succeed. The masked man looked at him. Draw everyone in the force together. Whether the Qiao sister dies, does matter. Use her to kill the crown prince. The assassin hesitated, but our master said not to touch the Qiao sisters. For our master's cause, anyone can be sacrificed, even us. Though, Minister Qiao dotes on his daughters. They're just girls. He won't abandon the big picture if they die. Asterisk no noble family head would, relying on daughters to carry on the line. He must have secret sons. Asterisk. The assassin could entarg. Asterisk this ignores the Qiao sisters' safety for the outcome. If the master is angry, we're dead. But failing the mission is death too. Asterisk yes, I'll do it. AHHHHHH. He bows who let out a shrill scream, grabbing Qiao Wanyan into run. In her panic, she mistakenly held Ziyuan's hand instead, only breaking free after much struggle, and rushing back to Qiao Wanyan's side. Qiao Wanyan's expression turned grave. The heightened sixth sense warned her of the situation was spiraling towards her worst fears. Zhang Qian and Lu Jinye guarded her front and back. But the sudden surge of assassins was overwhelming. Even skilled fighters couldn't fend off hundreds alone. Zhang Qian gritted his teeth. These assassins aren't targeting the crown prince. Could they're after the Xiling delegation? He watched as Shen Qing's guards also engaged attackers, wondering if the assassins aimed to kill the Xilings. Heir apparent and dragging Deu into Atagastatic crisis. If Shen Qing died in Deu, the consequences would be dire. Zhang Qian barely blocked swords from 3 or 4 assassins when he saw one charging at Qiao Wanyan from the side. Wanyan run before he could act. Qiao Wanyan dodged desperately but tripped over. Tang led underbrush. Lu Jin Ye rushed to her rescue. Knowing the assassins would strike his flank, he exposed his back to a sword, piercing the attacker's necks with his own blade. Blood splattered his face, and a long gashes on his back soaked his clothes. The warm sensation ignited buried killing intent, but he forced himself to parry incoming blows, fearing Qiao Wanyan would see him decapitate the assassin. Qiao Wanyan sheer-pounded, experiencing the storybook's vague assassination seen firsthand. She realized how fragile life was, the grim. The reality of slaughter terrified her for the first time. Afraid her life could end so easily. Cut short by a sword. A greenhouse. Flowers never exposed to carnage. She'd initially underestimated the danger, though her fingers trembled. Qiao Wanyan stayed calm, remaining vigilant to avoid hindering Zhang Qi, Yan, and Lu Jianye. An arrow aimed at her calf from the shadows. In an instant, a hand grabbed her wrist, yanking her up. The arrow embedded in the damp earth, its tail vibrating, testament to its force. Lu Jianye tried to intercept, but was blocked by two assassins, one of Shen Qing. Squarts fell nearby, slashed by a sword. Lu Jianye kicked the attacker away in frustration, watching helpless as Qiao Wanyan was dragged off by Shen Qing, glaring at Shen Qing's back. Qiao Wanyan tried to shake free, but his grip was too strong. Panicking, she shouted Lu Jianye behind a hidden tree. Shen Qing stopped and turned to her. Wary face, no assassins are chasing us. Second miss, rest assured. Qiao Wanyan strained to break free, but he held fast. In a rush, she swung to slap him, only for Shen Qing to catch. Her wrists, both hands pinned. She couldn't move. Frowning, she kicked him, and he reflexively released her. Stepping back, Shen Qing seemed puzzled. Second miss. You seem to dislike me. No kidding. You like skinning people. That's not dislike, it's terror. He looked normal, but his perverted tendencies were horrifying. You misunderstood. Your Highness, I'm just like you. You saved me, but I'm Tim ID and frightened. Qiao Wanyan showed no revulsion, fearing she'd provoke this madman into skinning her on the spot, especially with no one to protect her now. If only. Shen Qing found it amusing. Was this their first real meeting? Though she denied disliking him, her subconscious wariness and unspoken fear made it clear she was afraid. Afraid of what? She didn't even know him. He fell silent, simply watching her in the quiet forest. Her jade white dress somehow untouched by the surrounding chaos. Her bare face, lovelier than morning glows on snow, didn't belong in this world. If she didn't his nature, Qiao Wanyan might have mistaken his stare for simple admiration. She licked her lips to change the subject. Your Highness, look, this grass is quite green. Shen Qing replied flatly. And this tree is quite tall. Qiao Wanyan, don't move. Shen Qing stepped towards her, eyeing something behind her. Qiao Wanyan flinched. A chill crawled up her spine. Crown Prince, she called over his shoulder, hoping to trick him into turning so she could escape. Shen Qing didn't look back, knowing she lied. As he reached out, she swiftly drew a dagger from her waist and dab at his chest. Panic made her miss, striking just below his collarbone. Eyes shut tight. She thought asterisk you die not me. Asterisk. Shen Qing didn't flinch, only looking down at the small dagger in his chest, then at Qiao Wanyan peeking through one eye. Her decisive strike, quick reflexes, and ruthless intent. Weak but not stupid. Qiao Wanyan opened one eye to see the dagger hadn't hit his heart. Asterisk shit. If he survives, I'm dead. Asterisk without thinking. She pulled the dagger and aimed for his heart again, blood splattering her face. Asterisk, what does it matter? If the previous dynasty's remnants killed the Crown Prince and the Xilings, Heir apparent died by accident, asterisk. But Shenqing caught the dagger, blood dripping from his hand. One more stab, and I really will die. His other hand gripped the snakes that had coiled around a tree to strike her. Crushing its head, the body went limp, hanging from his arm. Qiao Wanyan panicked, asterisk, if you don't die, I will, asterisk, noticing something swaying nearby. She turned to look, but Shenqing blocked her with the hand still, holding the dagger. Don't look her, it's a snake. She froze, so he approached to catch the snake, not skin her. Embarrassed, she forced a smile. His eyes in the wound, still bleeding profusely. Crimson robe darkened with blood. A gruesome sight. Shenqing released the snake. Leisure lie wiping blood from his hands with a snake. Hand kerchief. His voice remained calm. His stunning face expressionless, as if nothing had happened. A calm that unnerved her. Second miss has a weak grip. A little more strength, and I'd bleed even more. Her mouth acted faster than her mind. Even though the snake was dead, she hurried Lai retreated to a safe distance, calling out no need to thank me. Shenqing, was he supposed to thank her for stabbing him? Thank you? Qiao Wanyan shook her head. You're welcome, asterisk, he. Must be insane to thank me for stabbing him, asterisk. After a pause, Shenqing asked, do you have any hemostatic medicine on you? She shook her head. No, but my maid does. But over there, the assassins were swarming. Returning meant almost certain death. Here was relatively safe, thanks to Zhang Qian and the others holding them back. But she couldn't treat his wounds, and the blood kept flowing. His face turning pale. If left untreated, he might bleed out, asterisk, if he dies. So be it. I'll send expensive funeral items back to Xiling as thanks for killing the snake, asterisk. The blood won't stop. Can you help me? I'm too dizzy to stand. Qiao Wanyan eyed his wounds. Why don't you go back? And I'll wait here for you? Shenqing laughed, half amused, half irritated. He'd met vicious women, but never one so brazenly shameless, acting as if his wounds had nothing to do with her, showing no guilt, wicked to the core. Yet her voice was as sweet as candied fruit, sounding like the tenderest love. Words if you ignored the context. You stabbed me, he reminded her. Was her vigilance so extreme that she'd try to kill him for getting close? Qiao Wanyan furrowed her brows, her peached blossom eyes misting over, hiding her face with salive. She whimpered, I'm sorry, I was panicked and hurt you. Hit me if you want. The words felt out of place as soon as they left her mouth. With the crown prince, he'd comfort her. But with this madman, would he actually get excited and hit her? He wasn't normal. His heart was pitch black. She added, but you're a gentleman. You can bring yourself to hit me or even old me. What should we do? Shenqing was speechless, looking at her delicate appearance. He thought for the first time that a living beauty might be more captivating than a dead one. Such a vibrant life should thrive on irritating others, not just him. Never mind, you were scared. The wound isn't fatal. Don't be afraid. Qiao Wanyan nodded. Your Highness is the most tolerant person in the world. I admire you. Asterisk, is he really this reasonable? Did I misread him in the storybook? Asterisk, but only moments later, she dismissed the thought. If she'd misread, why would Zhang Qian have been kidnapped that night and hung naked on a rack? Asterisk, the more beautiful someone is, the better they lie, asterisks. Zhang Qian had told her that, and now she agreed. Shenqing said, I'm losing too much blood. My hands are numb. Could you take the hand kerchief from my chest to stop the bleeding? She nodded. Reaching into his robe, Shenqing felt aiding Ling. The sensation clearer than the pain. From his collarbone wound lower, he guided, she found a jet of black-handed kerchief, embroidered with pine and bamboo. As she unfolded it to fold, a faint fragrance hit her nose, followed by dizziness. Looking up at Shenqing's smiling face, she saw danger in his subtle grin. Her heart sank. She staggered back to running, but her body went limp, nearly collapsing. Her eyelids grew heavy, her head pounding. Shenqing watched with interest until she fell, catching her with the same numb and weak hands that had just held the dagger. Careful. Second miss, you'll dirty your dress if you fall. Kia Wanyan had no strength left. That hand kerchief had she escaped Lu Jinyea. Brutality only to be skinned after all? Shenqing said meaningfully, oh that? It had knockout powder. I forgot to tell you. Asterisk bitch. Why didn't I kill you when I had the chance? Asterisk before he could continue. Shenqing collapsed, kneeling with a blackouts. His hands instinctively shield Ed Kiao Wanyan's face from the TH Orny ground. You, Kiao Wanyan sneered. I forgot too. Mentioned the dagger had knocked out. Powder too. It's less potent on metal, so it took longer to work. Yan Yao was a poison expert. Basic knockout powder was child splay. As an fighter, she prepared her dagger carefully. Otherwise, it was just a weapon for the enemy. Asterisk serves you right for underestimating me. Asterisk both pushed to their limits. They fell into a deep, unconscious sleep. The tall underbrush hidden them from passing assassins, who never noticed the two defenseless bodies. Your Highness, the reinforcements have eliminated the assassins and taken some alive. Please rest assured. He-Shiyu swung his long sword, flicking off every drop of blood, but he gave no response. Dashing towards where Kia Wanyan had been, He Yanli had already left ahead of him. Zhang Qian finished off the last assassin just as He Yanli returned. Before he could speak, He Yanli grabbed his collar. Where is she? Zhang Qian forgot everything. Else, Shenqing took her. There were too many assassins and Before he could finish, He Yanli snapped. Find her. Mo Xiao immediately nodded. With a wave, all the royal guards scattered to search. Zhang Qi, Yun followed. Lu Jinyea had already gone to look. If Shenqing had protected Kiao Wanyan, all was well. But he feared assassins had pursued them, endangering both. No one knew who the assassins targeted, but their numbers were staggering. Now that thing. Crown Prince controlled Shanglin hunting ground. This incident would likely bring him great trouble if anything happened to the Xiling heir apparent or Kiao Wanyan. Both Xiling and minister. Kiao would demand answers. Hiziyu's face turned as cold as frost. Jing Yuan. Summon all imperial guards too. Search the forest immediately. Jing Yuan obeyed, handing his token to Awkward before following Hiziyu. In the vast forest, search cries echoed, but the unconscious pair heard nothing. Hidden behind dense underbrush, they were impossible to spot. Everyone missed them. Lu Jin spoke gravely to Yea, the crown prince and Prince Jing. She's likely unconscious. Not long ago, he felt an unexplained dizziness. Not from his own wounds, but the mother-a-child goo, connecting him to Kiao Wanyan. He Yanli didn't ask how he was sure. He knew the goo tied their lives. Hiziyu didn't doubt him either. There was no reason to lie now. I've ordered heavy guards at all forest exits. Wanyan can't leave. If she's unconscious, she must be hidden, searched, behind all the underbrush. But if she's not dead, Lu Jinyea stated, turning to resume the search. Only a shamed goal made him speak to these irritating men. More people meant Aphister search. They had to find her before any escaped assassins did. At the forest entrance sealed off by guards, Kiao Yihuan stood distant, curious. Asterisk so many imperial guards. Something must have happened inside. Asterisk. Xiaoying rushed back, miss. There are assassins inside. Kiao Yihuan's eyes widened. Assassins? Then His Highness. She looked. Shang Xiu slid towards the entrance, fearing for the crown prince. As the most honorable person in the forest, he must be the target. Minister Kiao learned of the incident. Immediately, outside his tent, he ordered in a low voice, "Don't, madam. If she hears even a word, I'll have your heads." What exactly had happened was still unclear. The assassins charged the crown prince, and Wang Yan, an innocent, should be safe. But madam would worry and rush into the forest to find their daughter. Jin Shi stepped out when he didn't. Enter. What's happening? Minister Kiao shook his head. Grand Tutor Zhou asked me to meet him later. His Majesty summoned us. Jinji didn't suspect him. Izzy, it's a fine day. I wonder when Yanyan will come out. She's skewed at archery. She should bring back much prey. Our daughter is the best. Mentioning Kiao Wanyan, Jin Shi beamed, having just shelled lotus seeds to make a soup for her return. Mother, Jin Shi turned, her smile fading at the sight of Kiao Yihuan. Asterisk, why is she here? Asterisk, greetings. Father and mother, are you standing here because you know Yanyan is in trouble? Minister Kiao snapped, nonsense. I told you to stay at home, but you disguised yourself as a maid and followed the Jing'an Marquis here. Are you defying me? Kiao Yihuan said flatly, father is right, but it just wanted to see the spring hunt. That's we is new CK along. Jin Shi's tone grew heavy, her brows furrowing. What did you say? What's wrong with Yanyan? Minister Kiao immediately held her shoulders, comforting her. This disobedient girl is lying. Come rest with me. Yanyan will be back soon. Did it too shell lotus seeds? Let's shell more together while we wait. Kiao Yihuan pressed on. Father, I'm not lying. There are assassins in the forest. Sister was with the crown prince. She must be in danger. I'm just worried and wanted to tell you to see if we can enter the forest to find her. Asterisk slap. Asterisk Minister Kiao's face darkened. Disobedient wretch. Take her away. Send her back to the capital and lock her in Yongdi Manor. She's not to leave without my permission. In the forest, a guard rushed to report, panic in his voice. Your Highness troubled. He frowned. Speak. The captured assassins all died of poison on the way to the dungeon. None survived. We checked. They had no poison in their mouths. They must have taken it beforehand, expecting to die. Just a batch of dead soldiers, but arranging so many for an assassination in Shanglin hunting grounds showed how powerful their backers were. Hishiyu's aura turned icy, his eyes as dark as bottomless pools. The guard added, Your Highness. There's more. The Xiling princess, Spotty, was found in the forest, along with all her guards, killed by the same assassins. He Yanli, already far away, heard this. He looked back at He's a you, but said nothing. The setting sun dyed the western sky in thick, splendid red as if endless tenderness lamented the quiet of dusk, gently soothing the world's weariness. Though young, Yan Ya surpassed decades, experienced elders in poison mastery. Her knockout powder, even in small amounts, could keep someone unconscious for a day and night. Shenqing's powder was no weaker. Kiao Wanyan slept deeply, neither showing signs of waking. Under the underbrush, thorns ran rampant. Kiao Wanyan slept in Shenqing's arms unharmed, while his wounded chest now bore more scratches. His red robe a darker, more vivid hue. Hishiyu sent a team with Lu Jinyea, while He Yanli and Zhang Qiyan searched in 4 directions. Your Highness, Jing Yuan suddenly exclaimed. Heezy Yu hurried over, finding the pair behind a massive trees. He gently lifted Qiao Wanyan into his arms, frowning at Shenqing's still, unconscious form, and the wounds on his chest. Asterisk they encountered assassins. Asterisk. Heezy Yu inspected Qiao Wanyan thoroughly, no visible wounds, but he still worried as he prepared to carry her out for a male doctors. An arrow flew from the southwest, tangled. Underbrush made escape impossible, forced. To free the arms holding Qiao Wanyan, he blocked the arrows aimed at her head with his own arms, but Jing Yuan reacted too late to pull him back. The arrow struck Qiao Wanyan's arm. Heezy used pupils constricted, capture him, no matter the cost. He turned and rushed towards the exit with Qiao Wanyan, the assassin hidden in the tree, cursed under his breath. Asterisk damn guard. The arrow should have hit the crown prince. Asterisk though not a fatal wound. The poison on the arrow would still take effect. Asterisk hours of waiting. And I failed. Asterisk biting the poison hidden in his mouth. The assassin fell lifeless to the ground. Jing Yuan checked his breath and pulse. Dead. The Xiling heir apparent. Jing Yuan ordered. Take him back immediately. The Xiling princess is dead. He can't die too. Shenqing was carried away. Jing Yuan fired a signal flare in a clearing, notifying the forest guards to withdraw partially and continue securing the area. Minister Qiao couldn't stop Jinshi after repeated lie ordering them to bring their daughter back. He saw the crown prince emerge, carrying someone wrapped in a cloak. Recognizing the brocade shoes, he knew the owner. Their eyes met. Silent understanding. Heezy Yu placed her lodge in a palace. Minister Qiao, Jinshi He Yanli Zhang Qian, and others followed. A female doctor examined her and reported, Crown Prince. Second Miss Zhou has no external injuries, but the arrow was poison. I didn't recognize the poison. We need the Imperial tutors of the Imperial Medical Academy. 19 Imperial doctors had accompanied them, including Imperial Tutor Chen. Hearing this, he stepped forward. All diagnosed second Miss Zhou at once. They entered the inner chamber, tapping her pulse through a cloth. Chen's expression grew graver. Your Highness, forgive my incompetence. I didn't recognize this. Poison. She was also drugged before being poisoned. He Yanli snapped useless fools. Where's Yan Yao? That girl knows poisons. Bring her here. Jinshi urged go. Yan Yao had a stomachache this morning and is still in her tent. Fetch her now. Heezy Yu frowned. Asterisk drugged before being poisoned. Asterisk. Jing Yuan entered after securing the forest. Your Highness, the Xiling heir has been apparent. Taken to his chambers. He swounded. He Jiyu told Chen. Send 2 doctors to him. Implied. Chen stayed in case they needed at him. No one recognized the poison, but the Imperial tutor was more reliable. Yan Yao dragged in by Ziyuan, still suffered from her stomachache, tensing her whole body to hold it in. She took Qiao Wanyan's pulse and sniffed at the arrow. Jin Shishan's trembled with worry, sweat beading on her forehead as she fought to stay calm. Minister Qiao held her hand, both staring at Qiao Wanyan. Yao Yao, how is your sister Yanyan? Yan Yao's face turned purple from clenching her buttocks, making everyone's heart sink. Things must be dire. I know this poison, she blurted, but only my brother can make the antidote to cure Sister Yanyan. I don't trust anyone else, only my brother. Everyone paused. If there was a cure, why the awful expression? Minister Qiao said, Yanyan has Ayaking pill from Divine Dr. Yun. It's ed to cure all poisons. Yuking pill helps, Yan Yao said, but it can trim of the residual toxins. We need my brother. This poison was too overbearing. Made with human blood as an agent, requiring much blood, pure black magic. Finishing Yan Yao dashed for the latrine. Ziyuan said ordinary people can't. Enter medicine Master Valley. But I've been there. I'll take Mrs. Token to beg young Master Yan for help. As Kiao Wanyan's personal maid, she'd met Yan hang many times. He would recognize her. Yan Yao might be better, but she couldn't leave immediately. Minister Kiao immediately said, "Good, I'll send people to accompany you and ensure young Master Yan is invited." Fortunately, he had refused when Yanyan wanted to present the Yuking pill as a birthday gift on the Launch Vitae Festival. Now, it would finally serve its purpose. Yan Yao's true identity was unknown to many in the capital. The Kiao family deliberately hid this too. Avoid causing a sensation and unnecessary trouble. The divine doctor of medicine, Master Valley, was renowned worldwide, but reclusive, leaving many seeking treatment hopeless. If people knew the divine doctor's biological sister lived in the minister's mansion, the Kiao residents would sure. Lice are swarmed by patients. He Shiyu threatened in a low voice. If a single word of today's events leaks, I will never forgive the culprit. Those presents included Minister Kiao and his wife, Prince Jingjiang Qi and Lu Jinyea, and the imperial doctors. This warning was directed at Imperial Tutor Chen, who, after years in the palace, understood exactly what the crown prince meant. "We obey your highness. Rest assured," Chen replied. He Yanli said, "Since the poison can't be cured yet, the arrow must be removed immediately. We'll leave first. Ensure you treat her arrow wounds properly." The female doctor nodded promptly yes. Elsewhere, another report arrived. The wounded heir on the Xiling. Apparent chest was not fatal. With proper treatment and rest, he would recover. However, like Kiao Wanyan, he had also been drugged. The atmosphere grew grave. Minister Kiao stole a glance at the crown prince. If only Yanyan had been drugged, it might relate to the Xiling heir. Apparent, but now both were drugged, and assassins had lurked in hiding, attacking only after the crown prince appeared. They had used Yanyan and the Xiling heir, apparent as bait to lure the crown prince. At this thought, though Minister Kiao's face remained worried, a flash of murderous intent in his eyes revealed his fury. Madame Jin refused to leave, staying by Kiao Wanyan's side with trembling hands and a clenched heart. Minister Kiaofi read, she might faint from witnessing their daughter's suffering, but Madame Jin insisted on staying, holding Kiao Wanyan's hands without speaking or moving, careful not to hinder the doctor. Lu Jinyea stood guard at the door, expressionless, just as when Kiao Wanyan was shot in the shoulder. His arm now ached unbearably. Though she was unconscious, he was awake, ending the pain without a flinch, as if impervious to it. This was his punishment for failing to protect her. Zhang Qian stood silently, like a statue, distant from the crowd, his mixed emotions as he stared at the closed door. She had trusted him to protect her for the first time, but he had failed her. Ziyu gazed deeply at the door. Imist report. Today's negligence to the emperor. Inform me immediately of any developments. With second Miss Zhou, everyone else could stay, but he could not. With such a grave incident in Chang Lin hunting grounds, he could not shirk responsibility. As he left, he glanced at He Yanli, who appeared calm but pale, his eyes fixed on the closed door. Walking some distance, He Shiyu suddenly turned to Jing Yuan. Jing Yuan felt Achilles down his spine at the icy gaze. As it sucked into avertexes of fear, he bowed his head, understanding the reasons. By pulling the crown prince back, he had caused Miss Second Zhou to be injured, but he had no regrets. The Crown Prince lives out, weighed all else as the Crown Prince's personal guard. He must act thus, even at the cost of his life. If she survives, you live. If she dies, so will you, He Ji said. Jing Yuan nodded. As your highness commands. He Ji turned away, his voice devoid of warmth, sending shivers down spines. Adds, minister 200 lashes to yourself. Then kneel outside Changdong Hall. Jing Yuan replied, yes, your highness. Around the corner, He Ji braced himself against the wall, gasping for breath and feeling exhausted. Asterisk I should never have brought her into the forest. Asterisk. After composing himself, he proceeded to the emperor's palace, failing too. Clearing the forest of assassins was his crime. The emperor would not excuse him for the forest's vastness, causing Wang Yin to be. The injured made him even more culpable. Xu Xiao emerged from the hall. Crown Prince, His Majesty summons you. He Ji stepped inside, and the door closed behind him. The hall was deathly quiet. Each footstep echoes like a drum beat in his chest. Kneeling, He Ji said, your son failed to secure Shang Lin hunting ground, leading to this grave incident. Please punish me. Father Emperor, sunlight filtered through carved window lattice, falling on the book in the emperor's shands. Incense curled from an incense burner, its rich aroma adding solemnity to the already heavy atmosphere. The emperor remained silent until a caged birds chirped in the distance, then closed his book and looked at the crown prince. Who were the assassins targeting? He Ji answered truthfully initially. They aimed for your son, but with too many guards. Their target, he paused, shifted to the Xiling heir apparent. However, I know the Xiling heir was apparent in unconscious. A hidden spot. Assassins found him, but didn't act, waiting to ambush your son. Their target remained your son. The emperor's gaze was piercing. Shifted to the Xiling heir apparent? Are you sure they weren't targeting the Kiao girl? Could the Xiling heir apparent really lured the crown prince? Assassins used any means and people at their disposal. Those with weaknesses were easiest to exploit. The crown prince must have no weaknesses. I hope you understand this. He Ji defended. Your son has none. The assassins merely knew one. Second Miss Zhou is your son's savior and used her to bait your son. The emperor did not press further, only stating, the Kiao girl is injured. Minister Kiao won't let this goes. He dotes on his daughter excessively. His wife and daughter's lives matter more to him than anything. You must silence him and provide an explanation. He Ji replied, rest assured. Father Emperor, your son, will handle this properly. The emperor nodded. You did well. Regarding the Xiling princess's death, Madame Jin developed a high fever that night. With Kiao Wanyan still unconscious, she stayed by the bed, holding her hand and waiting. Minister Kiao sighed, my lady. If our daughter wakes and sees you like this, she'll worry. Let me accompany you to rest. I'll inform you immediately if anything happens. Madame Jin wiped her tears. This was her only treasure, more precious than her life. Watching her daughter suffered broke her heart. Princess Hebeos, who said, don't worry. Madam, I'll send word the moment Wanyan wakes. I will stay and guard her. She'll be fine. After much hesitation, Madame Jin nodded. Thank you, princess. Once Minister Kiao escorted Madame Jin away, Hebeos, who sat by the bed, worried, asterisk didn't puking. Pills promise improvement? Why is she still unconscious? Asterisk. Yan Yao nearly collapsed, shuffled in with numb legs and flopped down. I maid tried to pour her tea, but Yan Yao waved frantically. Stay back. My legs are numb. The maid halted, stepping aside. When will Wanyan wake up? He Beos who asked. Yan Yao shook her head. I'm now. She should have woken up after taking the yuking pill, but the knockout drug must be delaying it. He Beos who fell silent, struggling to process the day's events. Wanyan injured and unconscious. Carried back the Xiling princess, whom she had scared with a snake, killed by assassins. She regretted it. If she hadn't accidentally thrown the snake, the princess might still be alive. If the princess had stayed with them, she might have avoided the assassins. When Shen Xuan was alive, he Beos who had disliked her, haughtiness and insults towards Wanyan, wishing she would die. But now, her death, partly her fault. He left Beos who consumed by guilt. This felt like seeing someone threatened to jump off a bridge online and thinking, why not jump at night and spare others the trouble? Asterisk, but in reality, feeling nothing but urgency and pity, wondering what they had endured to lose all will to live. The platitudes she gave others meant nothing when faced with real tragedy. He Beos who and Yan Yao stayed up, dozing on the table when exhaustion struck. At the third watch, Kia Wanyan's index finger twitched, and she slowly opened her eyes. Though late at night, the hall blazed like day. She turned to see He Beos who and Yan Yao asleep at the table, silent as Shirei called the moments before fainting, being drugged by Shen Qing's handkerchief, then collapsing from the drugs on him. Her dagger, they had fallen together. She scanned the room, confused by Ziyuan's absence. Given Ziyuan's loyalty, her absence meant trouble. Had she been injured in the forest? Impossible. A maid entered and saw Kia Wanyan awake and rushed out. Lu Jinye posted outside, watched as one maid left and another entered, only to hurry out again wordlessly. Moving swiftly to report, Lu Jinye entered promptly, kneeling to meet her gaze and briefing her concise. Lie on the day's sevens, 2 maids just entered, saw you awake, and left quickly. One serves the crown prince, the other Prince Jing. They check on you regular lie, and report immediately upon finding you awake. Kia Wanyan relaxed. Ziyuan had gone to medicine. Master Valley, you may leave. It's time for my performance. Lu Jinye oppressed his lips, recalling something, then left with a dark expression. Shortly after he arrived with the Yanli, female doctor, Kia Wanyan, pondering her next move, laying still and silent, watching him, paler from injury. She exuded a frail, ethereal beauty, her un-adorned hair spilling over the pillows like lotus emerging from water. He Yanli said it's all wiki the doctor heading here, and guessed you'd weekend. Bored. I came to see the fun. You have 9 lives. Truly a scourge that lingers. Kia Wanyan remained muted, her misty eyes welling with tears that spilled onto the pillow. Words less yet overwhelmingly pitiful. Abodis. Tears could melt the coldest heart, especially for He Yanli, who could never truly harm her. Does the wound hurt? His voice softened involuntarily, the unique tenderness of a demon lord with blood on his hands. Kia Wanyan suddenly sat up, hugging his waist and sobbing. It wasn't just acting, the wounds tearing made, crying uncontrollable. Asterisk, it hurts. Why did this happen? If they want to kill the crown prince, do it. Why use me as bait? Bitches all bitches. Asterisk. He Yanli's lips trembled, his large hands gently cradling her head in comfort. Yan Yao and He Beos who had walked in, but stayed silent, understanding she needed to vent her fear. She you arrived then. Hearing the soft sobs outside, he quickened at his pace but stopped at the sight inside. His mind is go in blank. After crying for a long time, until the pain in her wounds subsided slightly, she released He Yanli, but she didn't move away from his embrace immediately, instead tilting her tear-stained face to look up at him. Yu Shart searched with turbulent emotions, his mind thrown into chaos. "I have something to say," she choked out. Yanli finally came back to his senses and released her, kneeling on one knee to look up at her and listen quietly. Wanyan said softly, "I didn't faint from the assassin's drugs. It was the Xiling heir apparent who drugged me. Peaceful. He wanted to kill me." What was the use of beating around the bush? She had to tell everyone that Shen Qing was dangerous, a threat who kept trying to skin her. This way, if anything happened to her later, people would know who to suspect first. Yanli's expression changed. "Do you know how he fainted?" Wanyan replied truthfully. "I stabbed at him. The wound below his collarbone is from me. I coated the dagger with knockout drugs. So when he drugged me, I drugged him too." Yanli nodded. "Well done." Wanyan's face was still streaked with tears, but she smiled at the praise. "I remember what you told me before? To protect myself. That no one is more important than me," Azir read. "So I didn't let Shen Qing succeed." Her smile faded as she added, "Yanli, am I safe now?" Her expression still held fearful aftershocks, as if her heart hadn't calmed, teetering on the edge of collapse. "You're safe. No one will hurt you now," Yanli said with absolute certainty. Wanyan shed more tears. "But I am still scared. When I close my eyes, all I see is blood splattering on me, on my face, my clothes. Those people died in front of me, their heads rolling to my feet. I am afraid they'll come for my life." Yanli couldn't bear to see her cry, no matter how tough he was normally. Seeing her like this made him forget everything. Absolutely everything. 1,000 regrets filled him for not staying by her side. But it was too late now. He stood to hold her, to soothe her and promise to protect her forever, to keep her from such horrors. But before he could raise his hands, heavy footsteps sounded. Behind him, Wanyan is awake. Jiyu approached, gazing at Wanyan's tearful face. All his negative emotions turned towards Yanli. "Why are you here, royal brother? Since you came with the doctor, why did the two let her examine Wanyan first? She still has residual poison, even if there's a rift. You should prioritize the bigger picture," the female doctor immediately said. "Second, miss, let me check your pulse." Wanyan nodded and held out her hand. After a careful examination, the doctor reported, "The residual poison remains. But if Divine Dr. Yan can come, it's not amateur issue. Just rest well these days." This eased everyone's worries. Princess Hebeos, who shook her head, inwardly marveling. The crown prince swords had been sharp like critical. Was this the same gentle and kind elder brother she knew? Had he seen Wanyan hugging Prince Jing? If so, this was incredibly thrilling. So dramatic, she'd pay for early access in modern times. Yanli said nothing. The criticism made sense. He should have let the doctor examine her first. Wanyan said softly, "Your Highness, Your Royal Highness, I am tired and want to rest." Yanli nodded and left quietly, uncharacteristically subdued. Yiyu's face darkened. Was she defending Yanli? Did she find his scolding harsh and want to protect Yanli? If not, why call him Yanli? Wanyan, Your Highness, I'm really tired. Wanyan interrupted. Jiyu swallowed his words, forcing his tone to remain calm and gentle. "All right, rest well. I'll visit you tomorrow." Wanyan nodded, falling silent. Once they left, the hall quieted. Wanyan rubbed her fingertips. All traces of vulnerability gone. What happened? In the forest had been an eye-opener. and she had truly read dying in that dense wood. But now, she was just terrified as she pretended to be, blood splattering on her, heads rolling to her feet. None of that mattered. She had only read dying, the risk of losing her life. Others, the deaths were their own fate. Qiao Wanyan exhaled. Yao Yao, I'm thirsty. Yan Yao immediately poured Ed tea. He Beos who approached saying, Wanyan, your arm wound must hurt. This is calming tea. It will ease the pain and help you sleep. Qiao Wanyan took the tea from Yan Yao and drank half. Thank you, princess. He Beos who said, let me help you lie down. Sleep peacefully. Tonight, I'll stay by your side. Don't worry. I want to sleep on the bed. I'll sit here and guard you. She knew her sleeping habits were poor and might jostle Qiao Wanyan swound. Qiao Wanyan shook her head. No need. This is a palace lodge. There's no danger. You and Yao. Yao should rest too. If you stay, I can't sleep soundly. Yan Yao said, princess. Go rest. I'll stay with Sister Yanyan. But sister, the crown prince looked awful when he left. Like he'd eaten awfully and couldn't complain. Qiao Wanyan smiled softly. You must have misseen. How could that be? As for the crown prince, she had deliberately snoobby at him and shown subconscious reliance on he Yanli in front of him. She had said before that any grievances she suffered from the crown prince, she would repay. This was just the beginning. He had more to endure. Even if she came crown princess, she would make him know what it meant to be torn by doubt, to guard her carefully for life. Even if he learned her true nature, he would never bear to scold her. Ziwan galloped toward Master Valley on medicine, horseback, and chanced upon Qiao Yiwan's, the returning to the carriage. Capital unfortunate. Qiao Yiwan encountered bandits. Ziwan was too worried about her mistress to intervene, but Qiao Yiwan dragged her into the mess, prompting the bandits to block their path, eager to rob another fat sheep. To travel light and arrive quickly, Minister Qiao had only assigned 6 guards to accompany Ziwan frowning. Ziwan said, leave none alive. I'll go ahead. Join me as soon as you're done. She spurred her horse forward, the 6 guards clearing Apith. Qiao Yi Huan quickly mounted a horse and followed. Ziwan glanced at her but ignored her. Xiao Ying hesitated, uneasily watching the distant fight. Taking advantage of the dark night, she hid in a secret spot, fearing involvement. Ziwan, why are you here? Qiao Yiwan asked curiously. Ziwan ignored her. Did something happen in Shanglin hunting ground? Why are you returning to the capital so late? Ziwan still ignored her, but an idea struck her. Qiao Yiwan had always been a saint humbling block in her mistress' path with no one else around. If she killed Qiao Yiwan, wouldn't her mistress face no more obstacles? Although the crown prince treated her mistress well now, the whole capital knew how he had once favored Qiao Yiwan. It was better to be safe than sorry. With this thought, Ziwan suddenly reined in her horse, dismounted, and approached Qiao Yiwan. Qiao Yiwan was confused, about to speak when Ziwan grabbed her wrist and yanked her off the horse. She lost balance, falling heavily to the ground. Her face paled with pain. Ziwan, what are you doing? Ziwan remained silent, straddling her and clutching her neck tightly. The pressure cut off her air instantly. Qiao Yiwan couldn't speak, only grasping Ziwan's hands in a desperate struggle, kicking wildly. But Ziwan's strength was overwhelming. Qiao Yiwan's face turned from pale to purple. On the verge of suffocation, Ziwan gritted her teeth, determined to kill her. Her mistress would have no worries if she died. Just as Qiao Yuan was about to suffocate, Ziyuan Shan's suddenly lose end. She pushed Ziyuan away with her last strength, crawling to a safe distance and eyeing her wary lie. But Ziyuan laid motion less on the ground. After a while, Qiao Yuan inched closer, pushed her shoulders, no response, checking her breath. Qiao Yuan was confused. She was still breathing. Why had she fainted? The 6 guards arrived. First miss. What's wrong with Ziyuan? Qiao Yuan shook her head. I know. She suddenly fell off her horse and scared me. A guard said gravely, "This is bad. We need to reach Medicine Master Valley. But without Ziyuan, we don't know the way." Medicine Master Valley? To fetch young Master Yan, who was injured. It must be a severe injury to send someone at night for Adivine Doctor. Qiao Yuan remained calm. I'll lead you. I've been to Medicine Master Valley with Wanyan and the Crown Prince and met Divine Dr. Yan, who is injured. The Crown Prince? The guards exchanged glances and replied, "Second miss. They had to fetch the doctor for second miss as soon as possible. Let's go. If we hurry, we might return to Shanglin hunting. Grounded by noon tomorrow. As for Ziyuan, taking her will slow us down. Leave someone too. Watch over her or send her back." The others agreed. Qiao Wanyan woke at noon the next day, although she had taken pain relieving medicine the night before. The arm pain persisted, making it hard to sleep. Before opening her eyes, the piercing pain made her wince. She slowly lifted her lids and saw unfamiliar figures. Her beautiful eyes blinked in surprise. Yan Heng? Yan Heng wore his usual pure white robe, his brows like spring hills, eyes like autumn water, clear yet filled with complex emotions. Seeing her awake, he felt even more heartache for her ordeal. No one could imagine the urgency with which he had raced out of the valley, arriving hunting grounds at Shanglin. He was immensely grateful he had given her the Yuking pill. Without it, the poison would have killed her before he arrived. Relief and fear tormented him, pain spreading through his limbs. "It's me," he said softly, his voice as gentle as the warmest spring sunlight, carrying a soothing power. Yan Heng carefully helped her sit up, moving so gently that her wounds didn't tug at all. He brought over the decoction. He had reheated regular lye, ensuring she could drink it as soon as she woke. This decoction will remove the residual poison. Take it for half amonth. It's bitter, but I didn't add honey to preserve its efficacy. Born with it. Then have a candied fruit. On the table lay a dozen carefully selected fruits candied, each spotless and of the highest quality. Qiao Wanyan nodded, furrowing her brows as she drank the entire bowl under Yan Heng's tender care. Like a child, a sweat's candied dispelled the fruit bitterness. She looked up and smiled, her small face bright, so sweet. Yan Heng thought only one thing. Asterisk, no candied fruit is as sweet as her. Asterisk.